My friends think you're kind of a loser. She laughed before introducing them to the guy she told me not to worry about. I just walked out of the party and ghosted our entire social circle. Now her alpha guy dumped her, she lost all our friends, and she's begging me to come back. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. Throwaway account here because, well, some folks from my old circle might stumble on this and recognize the details. This all started unfolding about a year ago, but the roots go back further. Buckle up. It's a long one, but if you've ever been blindsided in a relationship, you might relate. My name's Alex, fake name, obviously, and I was 29 when this kicked off. I'd been with Sarah for almost 4 years. We met through mutual friends at a casual game night in our mid-sized city. She was this vibrant, outgoing type, working in marketing, always the life of the party with her quick wit and big ideas. Me? I'm more the steady guy, a software developer who likes routine, coding late into the night, and planning weekend hikes. I wasn't flashy, but I was reliable, and back then, that seemed to be what she wanted. From the jump, I was all in. Sarah had just lost her job when we started dating, some startup folded, and I stepped up without a second thought. I covered her rent for a few months while she job hunted, even helped her revamp her resume and practice interviews. Flashback to one of those nights. We're on my couch, her head in my lap, and she's venting about another rejection. Alex, you're my rock, she said, looking up with those eyes that could melt anyone. I don't know what I'd do without you. I believed it. I mean, why wouldn't I? I wasn't perfect, but I showed up. I cooked dinners after her long days, surprised her with tickets to shows she loved, and even moved to a new apartment closer to her office when she landed a gig, just to make her commute easier. Things were good for a while. We built a life, shared friends from her work crowd and my old college buddies. Barbecues, trivia nights, the usual. But looking back, there were cracks. Sarah started hanging out more with this group from her job, loud, party-hard types who thrived on drama. She'd come home late, buzzing about networking, and I'd nod along, supportive as ever. Then there was Chad. Yeah, that Chad, the guy she swore was just a friend from the office gym. He'd pop up in her stories. Chad's hilarious. You should meet him. I'd feel a twinge of jealousy, but she'd brush it off. Don't worry, babe. He's not my type, you are. I'd let it go because, hell, I trusted her. Why rock the boat over nothing? But the dismissals built up. Little comments here and there. Alex, why don't you loosen up more at parties? Or my friends say you're so predictable. It stung, but I'd chalk it up to her stress. I sacrificed a lot, skipped a promotion that would have meant relocating because she didn't want to move, lent her money for a certification course she never finished. All to keep us solid. I thought we were building towards something real, maybe even marriage down the line. She talked about it sometimes, in those quiet moments. Then came the invite to our mutual friend Mike's birthday party at a local bar. Sarah was excited. Everyone's going to be there, she texted. I figured it'd be a fun night. Bought a new shirt, even practiced some small talk to fit in better with her crowd. Little did I know, that party was where everything imploded. If I'd seen the signs clearer, maybe I'd have prepared. But hindsight's 20/20ths, right? The bar was packed when we arrived. Dim lights, thumping music, clusters of people laughing over drinks. Sarah was in her element, flitting from group to group in a tight dress that turned heads. I hung back a bit, nursing a beer, chatting with Mike about his new job. Happy birthday, man, I said, clinking glasses. Thanks, Alex. Glad you could make it. Sarah's been hyping this up. Yeah, she had. About an hour in, things shifted. Sarah waved me over to a booth where her work friends were crammed in. 4 or 5 of them, including this tall, muscled guy I didn't recognize at first. He had that polished gym rat vibe, slick hair, designer shirt unbuttoned just enough, flashing a grin like he owned the place. Sarah's arm was slung casually around his shoulder as she laughed at something he said. My stomach twisted, but I played it cool, walking up with a smile. Hey babe, I said, sliding in next to her. Who's this? She turned, her eyes sparkling a little too much, maybe from the drinks, maybe not. Oh, Alex, this is Chad, the guy I told you not to worry about. She said it with a giggle, like it was an inside joke, but the way she emphasized not to worry about hit like a punch. Her friends exchanged glances, smirking. Chad extended a hand, all charisma. Hey man, heard a lot about you. His grip was firm, almost challenging. Yeah, same, I replied, keeping it neutral. But Sarah wasn't done. She leaned into him, then looked back at me with this condescending smile. Actually, my friends think you're kind of a loser, she blurted out, laughing like it was the funniest thing. The table erupted in chuckles, awkward at first, then fuller as they fed off her energy. One girl, Jess, covered her mouth. Sarah, oh my God, but she was grinning. I froze, heat rising in my face. What? Was all I could manage, my voice low. Sarah waved it off, still chuckling. Come on, Alex, don't be so sensitive. It's just, you're always so safe, you know? Playing video games at home while we're out living. Chad here's got that alpha energy, adventures, risks. My friends have been saying for months that I could do better. She gestured around the table, and a couple nodded, like this was common knowledge. Like, Jess even said you'd drag me down eventually. Jess shrugged. I mean, yeah, no offense, Alex, but Sarah's a star. She needs someone who matches that. Chad jumped in, smirking. Hey, no hard feelings, bro. Sometimes people just outgrow each other. I sat there, the humiliation sinking in. This wasn't just a slip, it was calculated, public. Sarah turned fully to me now, her tone shifting to that fake serious one she used for tough talks. Look, Alex, I've been thinking. This isn't working. I need space to, explore. Chad and we've been hanging out more, and it feels right. You're great and all, but you're holding me back. I deserve someone who pushes me, not someone who's just there. Holding you back, I echoed, keeping my voice steady despite the rage bubbling. After everything, the money, the moves, the support? She rolled her eyes, dismissive. Oh, please. That was your choice. And honestly, it was kind of pathetic how you clung to that. I told you about Chad months ago, and you did nothing. This is for the best. You'll thank me later. Maybe it'll toughen you up. Her friends murmured agreements, one guy even clapping Chad on the back. The twisted logic floored me, blaming me for her cheating, framing it as my fault for being too nice. I could have yelled, caused a scene, but what good would that do? Instead, I nodded once, stood up slowly. Okay then, enjoy your night. And I walked out, past the bar, into the cool air, ignoring Sarah's half-hearted Alex, wait, that faded behind me. My heart pounded, but I didn't look back. That was it. The end. The drive home that night was a blur, streetlights streaking, my mind replaying her words on loop. My friends think you're kind of a loser. It echoed, each repetition digging deeper. I got back to our apartment, my apartment, technically, since I'd paid for most of it, and just sat on the couch in the dark. No tears, no smashing things. Just numbness. How'd I missed it? Flashback to last Christmas. I'd surprised her with a weekend getaway, scraping together savings while she complained about work. You're the best, Alex, she'd said then, pulling me close. Now, it felt like a joke at my expense. The next morning, reality hit. Text from Sarah. Where'd you go? We need to talk. Then from her friends. Jess with hey, that got out of hand. But she's right, you know? Even Mike, the birthday guy. Dude, what happened? Sarah's pissed you bailed. I stared at my phone, the betrayal sinking in, not just her, but the whole circle enabling it. They'd laughed. They'd agreed. That was the knife twist. I'd thought they were our friends, but they were hers. I didn't respond. Instead, I started detaching. First, the practical stuff. Changed the locks that day, packed her things into boxes, clothes, makeup, that certification book she'd never opened, and left them with the building manager. No note, no drama. Then the digital purge. Blocked Sarah, Chad, the whole crew on everything, phone, social media, email. I deleted our shared photos, unfollowed mutuals. It wasn't rage, it was survival. Why give them access to twist the knife more? The weeks after were rough, the emotional middle, as I'd call it now. I'd wake up confused, reaching for her side of the bed, then remember. Days blurred, work from home, staring at code that wouldn't compile because my brain was fried. I'd question everything. Was I a loser? Too predictable? Flashback to when she lost her job. I'd worked overtime to cover us, skipping my own hobbies. I appreciate you so much, she'd whispered. Now it felt manipulated, like I'd been her safety net while she eyed the trapeze. But I didn't beg or confront. No drunken calls, no showing up at her work. Instead, I sat with the unfairness, the silence deafening at first, then clarifying. I started small changes, joined a gym, not for alpha BS, but for me. Pushed through workouts, feeling the burn replace the ache. Picked up hiking again, solo trails where I could think. Therapy helped too, virtual sessions unpacking the gaslighting. You gave loyalty she didn't deserve, the counselor said. It clicked. This wasn't my failure, it was hers. Months passed in that quiet rebuild. I focused on career, landed a promotion I'd passed on before, with better pay and remote flexibility. Made new friends through a coding meetup, real ones who valued substance over flash. The confusion faded, vulnerability turned to clarity. I wasn't too nice. I was capable, and that party was a gift, exposing the toxicity. Little wins stacked. A solo trip to the mountains, where I watched the sunrise and felt free. Sarah? She crossed my mind less. I'd ghosted our old life completely, vanishing like I'd never been part of it. But karma has a way of circling back, as I'd soon learn. It was about 3 months after the party when the first whispers reached me, not because I was seeking them out, but because the world has a funny way of delivering news when you've stepped back. I'd run into an old college buddy, Tom, at a coffee shop, someone outside the toxic circle who'd heard through the grapevine. "Dude, you dodged a bullet with Sarah," he said over lattes. "Heard from Mike that things blew up spectacularly." Turns out, Chad wasn't the alpha dream she painted. From what Tom pieced together, their fling lasted all of 2 months before the cracks showed. Chad was a serial player, had a girlfriend on the side the whole time, and when Sarah found out, he flipped it on her, accusing her of being clingy. But it got worse. He'd convinced her to co-sign on some loans for his business ventures, flashy stuff like crypto investments that tanked. She was left holding the bag, drowning in debt while he ghosted, blocking her everywhere. Her marketing job? She got let go after the drama spilled into work. Apparently, Chad was a contractor there, and the HR mess from their affair made her unprofessional. The friends? That's where the irony really kicked in. At first, they rallied around her, posting vague social media stories about empowerment and new beginnings. But as details leaked, how she'd been cheating for months, bad-mouthing me behind my back to make herself look better, the tide turned. Jess, the one who'd smirked at the party, was the first to bail after Sarah tried to borrow money. Mike straight up told her he was done enabling the lies. "You trashed Alex to justify your crap," he apparently said. One by one, they distanced themselves, leaving her isolated in that echo chamber she'd built. Last Tom heard, she was crashing on her sister's couch, scrambling for freelance gigs that paid peanuts, her star status dimmed to a flicker. I didn't gloat, not out loud anyway. Sitting with the unfairness those first weeks had taught me restraint. But damn, it felt like justice, earned through her own choices. Flashback to when I'd lent her cash for that course. "I'll pay you back soon," she'd promised. Now, she was reaping what she'd sown, and I was miles away, hiking new trails, coding projects that excited me, even dating casually without the drama. Her unraveling wasn't my doing. It was the natural fallout of building a life on sand. Still, I figured that was the end, until the outreach started. Karma wasn't done yet. The first message came 4 months post-party, slipping through because I'd missed blocking one of her old numbers. It popped up while I was at the gym, mid-set. "Hey Alex, it's Sarah? Miss our talks. Can we chat?" I stared at it, the casual tone like nothing happened. No apology, just testing waters. I deleted it, no reply. But that opened the floodgates. A week later, calls started, voicemails at first. "Alex, pick up. I know you're there. Things with Chad, they didn't work out. I was stupid, okay? I realize now how good we had it." Her voice cracked a bit, but it felt rehearsed, like she expected sympathy. Then texts escalated. "Please, babe. I need you. Life's falling apart without my rock." "Babe?" After calling me a loser? I blocked the number, but she switched to email. "Remember all the good times? That getaway you planned? I threw it away, but we can fix this." Sweet at first, laced with nostalgia, but revealing her hypocrisy, she dismissed those sacrifices back then. It didn't stop. Her family got involved next, the toxic brigade I'd met at holidays. Her sister, Lisa, messaged me on a work-linked app I'd forgotten. Alex, grow up. Sarah made a mistake. Everyone does. You're being childish ghosting her. She needs help with some bills. You owe her after all she put up with. Put up with? The nerve. Then her mom called from an unknown number. Young man, family sticks together. Sarah's hurting bad. Chad left her high and dry. Be the bigger person and talk to her. They painted me as the villain, like I'd abandoned her, not the other way around. Unpleasant doesn't cover it. It was pushy, entitled, echoing Sarah's smugness. The desperation peaked when she showed up, in person. First at my old apartment building, the manager told her I'd moved. Then, shockingly, at my office during lunch hour. I was heading out when I spotted her by the entrance, looking frazzled, hair messy, eyes red. Alex, she called, rushing over. People stared. Sarah, I said flatly, not stopping. Wait, please. I need to talk. She grabbed my arm lightly. Chad was awful. He cheated, took my money. I'm broke, alone. Our friends ditched me because of the lies, but they were exaggerating. I was confused, that's all. Confused. I echoed, pulling away. You humiliated me in front of everyone. Called me a loser. She waved it off, desperate now. That was the drinks talking. I didn't mean it. Come on. You know me. I'm better than that. We can start over. I'll make it up to you. I shook my head. No. Her face twisted, sweetness cracking to anger. How dare you? After everything, you're just gonna ignore me? I thought you'd always be there. You're ruining my life. Hypocrisy full blast. Blaming me again, like at the party. I walked away, heart steady. Take care, was all I said. Blocked her new attempts that night. But she wasn't done. There was one more encounter brewing, the kind that would seal it all. The wedding was the twist I didn't see coming. Mike's, ironically, the guy whose birthday party started it all. I debated going, but Tom convinced me. Show up thriving, man. You've earned it. It was at a scenic venue outside the city, string lights and laughter under the stars. I brought a date, Emily, a sharp, kind woman from my coding group. No drama, just easy connection. We were mingling when I spotted Sarah across the room, alone at a table, nursing a drink. She looked worn, thinner, forced smile. While I felt solid, promotion fresh, life upgraded. She cornered me during the reception, after the toasts, slipping away from her spot. Emily was at the bar. Sarah approached fast. Alex, thank God. We need to talk, really talk. I turned, expression neutral. Sarah, this isn't the place. Please, she begged, voice low but urgent. I've been a mess. Chad destroyed me. Abusive, lying. Lost my job, friends, everything. I see now what I had with you. Stability, love. I was wrong, so wrong. Take me back? We can rebuild. Her eyes searched mine, desperate, like I was her lifeline. But I felt nothing. No pity, no pull. Just indifference. The power flipped. Sarah, I said calmly, that chapter's closed. You made your choices, humiliating me, cheating, lying. It showed your true colors. She flinched. But I apologized. My family said you'd come around. Don't you care? No, I replied firmly. I don't. I've built something better. New job, real friends, peace without the games. You're irrelevant to that now. Tears welled. How can you be so cold? I need you. I stepped back. You needed excitement, remember? An alpha. This is the consequence. I'm happier, thriving actually, with someone who values me. Emily waved from afar. I nodded her way. Sarah glanced over, face crumpling in realization. The reversal stark, her desperation against my calm. You'll regret this, she muttered, anger flashing one last time. I won't, I said, turning away. Goodbye, Sarah. She didn't follow. The night continued, dancing, laughs, with her fading into irrelevance. Walking out with Emily, hand in hand, I felt free, evolved. That betrayal? It pushed me to this. Karma delivered, and I was done. If there's an update, Reddit, it'll be about my wins, not her losses. Thanks for reading. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.